6 forms of communication are interpersonal, intercultural, group, public, and mass communication. Interpersonal communication, which is communication with oneself using internal vocalization or reflective thinking. This is the only form of communication that isn't perceived by someone else. Internal vocalization can help us achieve or maintain social adjustment. According to the article, we also use interpersonal communication or self-talk to let off steam. Interpersonal communication is between people whose lives influence each other. Interpersonal communication builds our relationships but can even end them with others. This is an interactive form of communication, unlike interpersonal communication. Group communication is communication with 3 or more people to achieve a shared goal. According to the text, you have likely worked in groups in high school and college, and if you're like most students, you didn't enjoy it. Group communication is valuable in many contexts. Public communication is when one person is responsible for conveying information to an audience just like group communication. Public speaking is an important part of our academic, professional, and civic lives. Mass communication is communication that spreads to many people through print and electronic media such as newspapers and magazines. According to the text, mass communication differs from other forms of communication in terms of the personal connection between participants. Intercultural communication is communication between people with different cultural identities. Studying intercultural communication can help us better navigate over our changing world. A few forms I find important for my future are interpersonal communication, interpersonal and group communication. Interpersonal is important for my future because in my career as a horse trainer, I'm not always working with other people, so I will have to self-talk myself through many situations. Interpersonal communication is and will always be important. Every day we are surrounded by many people who we need to converse with. Group communication will also be important in the workplace for times such as group meetings about the company. I can't remember a specific situation to where I felt vulnerable speaking in front of an audience because it happens so often. I am a very shy person, so when I have to speak in front of a crowd, I feel very vulnerable. I always feel my opinion isn't welcome or wanted. I do believe there's a connection between public speaking and vulnerability. So often we speak in front of people and feel like we will be judged for our thoughts and opinions. I remember many times when a person finishes stating their opinion, whether it's my classmates or the president, and people would attack them for what their opinion was, just because they don't agree with it. During many interviews I have had over the past few years, I feel like I have tried communicating things that mean a lot to me, but I can never quite explain my feelings well to others. Communicating well is important on our everyday lives, and especially in school and at the workplace. If you can't communicate well, your feelings will never be heard and you will feel unsatisfied with your life. According to reference.com, effective communication is important to building strong relationships and succeeding in business.